Hello all, welcome back to Pabbly Connect. So in this video, we are going to understand how to create ActiveCampaign contact and update Google Sheets and send Slack messages for Calendly appointments. So are you also using Calendly for your business? Then this video is definitely for you. So over here, I'm doing the same. I'm running a real estate agency, and for that we use Calendly to get the bookings of our clients. So now what I want is that as soon as the new booking is made in my Calendly account, automatically with the help of the same details, a new contact should be created in my ActiveCampaign account too. And also the appointment details should be added in the Google Sheets, and my team on Slack should be notified about the new appointment. So to do this, we are going to create a connection between Calendly, ActiveCampaign, Google Sheets and then Slack. To create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing automation software. So do you also wish to learn this process step by step? Then let me take you to my computer screen. Welcome to my screen. So as you know, in this video, we are going to understand how to create ActiveCampaign contact and update Google Sheets and send Slack messages for Calendly appointment. So as you know that I'm running a real estate agency, and in real estate agency, managing client appointments is crucial to close deals. So to make this easy, I want to set up this automation that links ActiveCampaign, Google Sheets and Slack with Calendly. So now what I want is that whenever a buyer schedules a property view through Calendly, their details are automatically added to ActiveCampaign for follow-up emails. The appointment is also recorded in Google Sheets so that we have a clear view of upcoming meetings, plus our sales team gets a notification on Slack with all the details, ensuring that they are ready for the appointment. So this automation keeps everything organized and help us to connect with our buyers more effectively. So to do all of this, I have simply opened the landing page of Pabbly by searching pabbly.com/connect in my browser. It is very easy. So as soon as we are going to open the landing page of Pabbly, we are going to get two options. One is sign in and the another one is sign up for free. So if you're a new user, you can click on sign up for free and you are going to get 100 of tasks free every month. But I am an existing user, so I'm going to click on sign in right over here. And as soon as we are going to click on sign in, it is opening all Pabbly apps. Over here you can see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly. But in today's video, we are going to use Pabbly Connect because we are connecting different applications. So I'm going to click on access now right over here to access my Pabbly Connect account. And now it is opening my dashboard. And to start with this automation, we are going to click on this button which says create workflow. And now it is asking me the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So I want to save the workflow in this folder which says automations, and I want to name my workflow as how to create ActiveCampaign contact and update Google Sheets and send Slack messages for Calendly appointment. And then we are going to click on create, and as soon as we are going to click on create, it is opening the most important window of our automation, which is our workflow window. So this is the most important window because we have trigger and action in this. Trigger means when this happens and action means do this. So by this you can understand that the trigger is the commander for the workflow and actions follow the commands. And as you know that we can have only a single commander but multiple followers. So over here we can have only a single trigger but multiple actions following the commands of our trigger. So now to start with our automation, we are going to select our trigger application. So for my trigger application, I am going to select it as Calendly because I want that as soon as a new appointment is booked in my Calendly, automatically my workflow should be triggered. So I'm going to search for it, and as you can see the same, so we are going to select it. And now for the trigger event, we are going to select it as invitee created user, and then we are going to click on connect. And as soon as we are going to click on connect, it is asking me to add a new connection or select the existing connection. So if you have already connected your Calendly account with your Pabbly's workflow, you can click on select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and then we have to go on connect with Calendly. And as soon as we are going to click on connect with Calendly, it is saying continuing will enable the Pabbly Connect application to connect your account and manage your Calendly events. So yes, we have to do this only. So I'm going to click on connect with Calendly right over here again. And as soon as we are going to do so, you can see that authorization successful. And yes, we have successfully created a connection between our Calendly account and our Pabbly's workflow. And over here, you can see that now it is asking me for the organization and the user. So I'm going to keep it as same right over here only. And then we are going to click on save and send test request. And as soon as we are going to click on save and send test request, you can see that it is saying waiting for response. And we have to do a test submission to capture this response. So what we have to do is we are going to book an appointment right over here in our Calendly account to capture this response. So I'm going to open my Calendly account right from here. So over here you can see that this is my Calendly account and I've created 2 events right over here. So I'm going to create this automation for this event, which is Lakeview Properties. So to do this, I'm going to click on view booking page right over here. And as soon as we are going to click on view booking page, you can see that we are going to do a test submission and a test booking. So I'm going to select the date as 26th of August, and then for the time I'm going to select it as 12 p.m. and then we are going to click on next right over here. And now it is asking me for the first name, last name and all the details. So what I'm going to do is, for the first name I'm going to select it as dummy, last name as user, email as dummyyuser@pabblytudes.com, and then for the phone number I'm going to keep it as this only. And now it is saying property of interest, so for that I'm going to select it as vacant land. And after selecting all of these details, I'm going to click on schedule event. And as soon as we are going to click on schedule event, you can see that it is saying you are scheduled. So yes, we have successfully scheduled an event with the same details. So now what has happened is that Calendly has sent the details of our submission to our workflow. So I'm going to open my workflow and check that if Pabbly has captured the response of the same or not. So I'm going to open my workflow and we are going to look that yes, Pabbly has captured the response. Over here you can see response A captured, and you can see all the details that we entered. You can see the email that we entered, the first name, the last name. Over here you can see also the full name that we entered. Over here you can see type of property interested, which is vacant land. I'm going to move on forward. You can see all the details that we entered. So yes, you can see that with this we have successfully completed our trigger step and captured all the details. And now what we have to do is we have to send this Calendly invited details to our Google Sheets, to Slack, and also create an ActiveCampaign contact. But before doing all of this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my action step and we're going to add the action application as filter by Pabbly. So I'm going to add this because I want to add a filter condition in my workflow. So to do this, I'm going to search for filter right over here. So it is a feature by Pabbly which helps you to add conditions in your workflow. And now for the action event, I'm going to select it as filter values, and then we are going to click on connect. So now what I want is that over here you can see that I have multiple events right over here in my Calendly account, but I'm going to create this automation only for a single, which is Lakeview Properties. So I want that if the booking is made of this call or of this meeting, then only my workflow should continue further. So what we have to do is we have to select the label as Lakeview Properties right over here. For that I'm going to search for it, and as you can see the same, so we are going to select right over here Lakeview Properties. So you can see scheduled event name, so we have to select this event name right over here. And now it is asking me for the filter type, so I'm going to keep it as equals to. And now for the value, we have to enter the same value which we have selected right over here in my label. So my event name right over here is Lakeview Properties. Over here you can see that this is the event, so I'm going to enter the same right over here in my value too. So I'm going to enter the value as Lakeview Properties, and now after doing this we are going to click on save and send test request. And yes, you can see that it is saying status success, condition is true. So now what I have done is that if the scheduled event name is Lakeview Properties, then only this workflow will move on further. So now after adding this filter, I'm going to add the action step, which is ActiveCampaign. So I want to create an ActiveCampaign contact with the same details, and for that I'm going to search the action application as ActiveCampaign. So I'm going to search for it, and as you can see the same, so we are going to select ActiveCampaign right over here. And as soon as we are going to select it, it is asking me for the action event. So I'm going to select the action event as create or update a contact, and then we are going to click on connect. And as soon as we are going to click on connect, you can see it is asking me for the same again, add a new connection or select the existing connection. So if you have already connected your ActiveCampaign account, you can click on select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me again, click on add a new connection, and now it is asking me for the API key and the URL. So to get both of this, we have to follow the help text, and it is saying log into your ActiveCampaign account, click on your settings tab on the left sidebar area, and then select the developers tab. So I'm going to do the same. I'm going to open my ActiveCampaign account, and as you can see that this is my account and I've already logged in it. So now what we have to do is I'm going to go on the left sidebar, and as you can see settings, so we have to go on this. And now after opening settings, we are going to go on developer, and as soon as we are going to go on developer, right from here you can see the URL and the key. So we are going to copy both of this right from here, the key and the URL, and then we are going to paste it right over here in our workflow. We are going to do same for the URL also, and yes, you can see that we have successfully pasted both of this. But now you can see that in the help text of the URL, it is saying provide the URL without HTTPS. So we have to eliminate this HTTPS and slash and then provide the URL. So yes, you can see that we have successfully did this, and now we are going to click on save. And as soon as we are going to click on save, you can see that we have successfully connected our ActiveCampaign account with our Pabbly's workflow. And now it is asking me for the email. So we are going to map the email right over here. So mapping is a method by Pabbly which means inserting the data from the previous step. And as you know, our previous step was the trigger step where we selected Calendly as our trigger application. So we are going to map the details from the response of our trigger application or the previous application only. And as soon as we are going to map these details, automatically my details will turn dynamic and change with every new response received in my Calendly. So I'm going to give you an example right over here. Okay, so it is asking me for the email. So let's suppose that I'm going to enter the email manually over here, dummy@pabblytudes.com. Then this will not change with every new response received because this is a static information and I've entered it manually. But if we are going to map it from the previous response, I'm going to look for email right over here, and as you can see the email. So let's suppose that we are going to map this from the previous response, then yes, this will definitely change because my previous response will also change. So that's why we do mapping right over here to run our workflow in real time. And after mapping the email, we are going to map the first name too. I'm going to search for first name, and as you can see dummy, so we are going to map it. We're going to do same for the last name also. I'm going to search for it, and as you can see the same, so we are going to map it. And after mapping both of this, it is asking me for the phone. So I'm going to look for it, and as you can see the same, so we are going to map it. And after mapping all of these details, we are going to move on forward. It is asking me for the tag ID, list, account ID, and job title. So as you can see, all of these fields are not the required, and I don't have these details in my response, so I'm going to leave it as blank, and directly we are going to click on save and send test request. If you wish, you can definitely fill out these. And as soon as we are going to click on save and send test request, you can see that we have successfully created a new contact in our ActiveCampaign with the same email, the phone number, and the name. So yes, this is a positive response. So I'm going to open my ActiveCampaign and check that if a new contact has been created with the same details or not. So I'm going to open my ActiveCampaign, and from here we are going to go on contacts. And as soon as we are going to open the contacts, you can see a new contact, full name dummy user, you can see the email dummyyuser@pabblytudes.com, and you can see the phone number that we entered. So yes, this is successfully created a new contact in my ActiveCampaign, and yes, with this we have successfully completed this action step. And now further what I want is that automatically the details should be added in my Google Sheets too. So I'm going to add another action application right over here, which is Google Sheets. So I'm going to look for Google Sheets, and as you can see the same, so we are going to select it right over here. And now for the action event, we are going to select it as add new row, and then we are going to click on connect, and again it is asking me for the same. So if you have already connected your Google Sheets account, you can click on select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, again you have to follow me, click on add a new connection and then sign in with Google. And now as soon as we are going to click on sign in with Google, it is going to ask us for the Gmail account, and after selecting your Gmail account, it is going to ask you for some permissions. So here you can see the permissions it is asking for. So I'm going to click on allow and give Pabbly all the permissions it is asking for because my data is secure with Pabbly. You can also click on allow, Pabbly is safe, and as soon as you are going to click on allow, you can see authorization successful, and this means that we have successfully connected our Google Sheets account with our Pabbly's workflow. And now it is asking me to select the spreadsheet and the sheet. So here you can see the name of my spreadsheet is appointments and the name of my sheet is sheet 1. So I'm going to select the same for the spreadsheet. We are going to select it as appointments right over here, and as soon as we are going to select the spreadsheet, you can see sheet is selected sheet 1 because I have only a single sheet in my spreadsheet. So now after selecting this, we are going to move on forward. It is asking me for the client name, client email, property of interest, appointment date and time. So as you can see that these are the same details we have asked right over here in my sheets column. So yes, we are going to enter the same details. Again, we are going to map these details. So for the client name, I'm going to search for name, and as you can see the name, which is dummy user. So we are going to map this. We are going to move on forward. It is asking me for the client email. So I'm going to look for client email right over here, and as you can see the email, which is dummy@pabblytudes.com. So we are going to map it. Now it is asking me for the property of interest. So I'm going to look for the property of interest right over here, and as you can see vacant land. So we are going to select it. And now it is saying appointment date and time. So we are going to select date and time right over here. I'm going to look for it, and as you can see that date is in this format, and I cannot understand what it has written and what's the date and the time. So now what we have to do is we have to format this date and time in our desired format so that it is readable and we can understand it easily. So to do this, what we are going to do is we are going to add another action step right over here, and we are going to click on this plus button. And now for the action application, we are going to select it as date time format formatter. So it is a feature by Pabbly which helps you to format the date and time. So I'm going to look for it, and as you can see the same, so we are going to select it. And now for the action event, we are going to select it as format date with time zone. So what I want is that I want to format the date with the time zone so that it is readable and understandable. So now we are going to select the date which we want to change. For that, I'm going to look for it, and as you can see that this is the same, which is start time right over here. So we are going to select it. So this is the time and the date on which the appointment will begin. So I've selected the same right over here. And now for the from format, we are going to select it as this because this is the same format over here which we have the date in. And now it is asking me for the to format. So I want the to format to be this. So this is the desired format I want my date in. And now it is asking me for the from time zone. So over here you can see the date is in UTC time zone. So I'm going to select the same right over here, UTC. And now it is asking me for the to time zone. So I'm going to select it as Asia, Kolkata, because I am here in India. So I'm going to look for it and select it. And after doing all of this, we are going to click on save and send test request. And yes, you can see that we have received our date in the desired format. You can see 26th of August 2024 and the time is 12 p.m. You can see that this is the same date and time right over here, 12 p.m. 26th of August 2024. So yes, with this we have successfully completed this step. And now what I want is I'm going to add this same date right over here in my sheets. So I'm going to open this, and now for the appointment date and time, we are going to map this response received as the result of our date time formatter. So we're going to map it, and then we are going to click on save and send test request again. And as soon as we are going to click on this, you can see that we have received a positive response that we have successfully added all of these details in our spreadsheet. So I'm going to open it, and as you can see that yes, we have successfully added the details. You can see the full name, dummy user, you can see the email, you can see the property of interest and the appointment date and time. So yes, with this we have successfully completed this action step also. And now what I want is I want to send a Slack channel message to my team notifying them that we have a new appointment to attend. So what we are going to do is again add another action step right over here. And now for the action application, we are going to select it as Slack. So I'm going to look for Slack right over here, and as you can see the same, so we are going to select it. So over here to notify my team, I'm going to use Slack. If you wish, you can use any another application, maybe Discord, Google Chat or Microsoft Teams. And now it is asking me for the action event. So I'm going to select it as send channel message, and again we are going to click on connect. And as you can see, it is asking me for the same. So I'm going to click on add a new connection and then connect with Slack right over here. And now it is asking me for the token type, and over here in the help text it is saying enter the token type as either user or bot. So if you wish to learn more about the token type, you can click on this hyperlink given which is learn more. So I'm going to select the token type as bot right over here, and then we are going to click on save. And as soon as we are going to click on save, you can see that it is going to ask me for some permissions again. So as you know that our data is secure with Pabbly, so we can click on allow right over here. And as soon as we are going to click on allow, you can see that we have successfully connected our Slack account with our Pabbly's workflow. And now it is asking me for the channel. So as you can see that my Slack channel is appointment updates right over here, and I want to send the message in this channel only. So I'm going to select the same right over here as the channel, which is appointment updates. So I'm going to look for it, and as you can see the same, so we are going to select it. You have to keep in mind that you have to select the same channel right over here you want to send the message in. And now we are going to move on forward. Over here you can see that also it is saying in the notes a bot can't post in private channel. So you have to keep in mind that if you are not a member, you need to invite it to your channel if you are using a bot token. So I selected my token type as bot, that's why it is showing the same. So you have to keep in mind that bot can't post in private channel. And now we are going to move on forward. It is asking me for the message. So I want the message to be new appointment alert, client name, email, phone number, property of interest, appointment date and time. So again we are going to map these details right over here too. I'm going to look for the name, and as you can see dummy user, we are going to map it. We're going to do same for the email too. I'm going to look for it, and as you can see dummy@pabblytudes.com. So we're going to map it right over here too. We're going to look for the phone number right over here, and as you can see the same, so we are going to map it. We are going to map the property of interest also, as you can see the same, so we are going to map it. We are going to look for the appointment date and time in the date time formatter action application result. You can see the same, so we are going to map it. And now after mapping this message, what I have done is I have created a personalized message. So every time with the new response, these details will change and the new details message would be sent to my Slack channel. And now it is asking me for the image URL, image alt text and all the another details. So I'm going to enter only the required details or the details I wish to. And now it is asking me for the bot name. So I'm going to keep the bot name as appointment alert. So I'm going to enter the same right over here. And after entering the bot name, it is asking me for the bot icon and many another details. So I'm going to leave all of these blank as these are not the required details. It is asking me for the auto expand links. I'm going to keep it as true. It is saying link username and channel names. I'm going to keep it as true. Reply broadcast, I'm going to keep it as false. And then we are going to click on save and send test request. And as soon as we are going to click on save and send test request, you can see again we have received a new positive response that yes, we have successfully sent a new channel message notifying our team. So I'm going to open my Slack and check that if we have sent a new message or not. So I'm going to open my Slack account, and yes, you can see that we have sent a new channel message. You can see new appointment alert over here. You can see the client name, the email, the phone number, the property of interest, and the appointment date and time. You can see that it is saying please review the client details and the rest of the message. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow. So what we have done is from the Calendly invite we created, we have created a contact, we have added the details in the Google Sheets of the appointment, and also sent a Slack channel message. And yes, we were successful with our workflow, but I'll just test this workflow once, and this time I'm going to give you a real-time example. So what we are going to do is I'm going to open my Calendly account, and we are going to again go on view booking page and do another test submission with the new details and check that if our workflow is running in real time or not. So I'm going to select the date and time as 30th of August this time, and then for the time we are going to select it as suppose 2 p.m. and then I'm going to click on next right over here. For the first name I'm going to keep it as test, last name as user, email as testuser@pabblytudes.com, and then for the phone number I'm going to keep it as this. And now it is saying property of interest, so I'm going to select it as residential home, and then we are going to click on schedule event. And as soon as we are going to click on schedule event, you can see that yes, we have successfully did another test submission with the new details. And now what this means is that Calendly has sent the details of our test submission to our workflow. Pabbly captured the response, triggered the workflow, further created a new ActiveCampaign contact with the same details, added the appointment details in our Google Sheets, and also notified our team on Slack about the new appointment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open all of these applications one by one and check for the details added. And this time we are not going back to our workflow and clicking on save and send test request. I'll directly open my ActiveCampaign account right from here, and we are going to look for the new contact created with the new details. So I'm going to open the account and go to my contacts page. And as soon as we are going to do this, you can see a new contact has been created. Name test user, over here you can see the email testuser@pabblytudes.com. You can also see the phone number that we entered. And yes, with this we have successfully completed this action step, which is ActiveCampaign. Now I'm going to open my Google Sheets and look that the appointment details have been added there or not. So I'm going to open my Google Sheets, and yes, you can see client name test user, you can see the email of our client and the property of interest, which is residential home, and you can see the same appointment date and time, which is 30th of August 2 p.m. So yes, this was the same details right over here, you can see. And now we are going to open our Slack and look that if a Slack channel notification has been sent or not. So I'm going to open my Slack, and yes, you can see a new message, new appointment alert. You can see the new client name, the email, the phone number, property of interest, and the appointment date and time. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow, and our workflow is running in real time too. So now I'll just summarize this workflow for you once. For the trigger application, we selected Calendly. For the trigger event, we selected invitee created. For the action applications, we selected filter, ActiveCampaign, date time formatter, Google Sheets, and Slack, because I wanted that as soon as a new invitee is created or a new appointment is booked in my Calendly account, automatically with the help of the same details, a new ActiveCampaign contact should be created. The appointment details should be added in my Google Sheets, and also a Slack channel message should be sent to my team notifying about the new appointment. And yes, you can see that I've also added a filter and a date time formatter right over here. So both of these are features by Pabbly. So I added filter because I wanted to create this automation for only a single event type, but I had multiple events in my Calendly account. And I added date time formatter by Pabbly because I wanted to format the date and time in my desired format. As you can see that I've used ActiveCampaign as my email marketing platform right over here. You can use any another email marketing platform as you desired. And over here also you can see that instead of Slack, you can use any another application. Suppose Discord, Google Chat, Microsoft Teams, and any another. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow, and over here you can see that I've added two contacts right over here in my ActiveCampaign account with the help of the same details we entered in our Calendly. You can see also the two new row added in my Google Sheets during this video with the help of the same details, and also you can see that I've sent two channel messages on my Slack too. So yes, this automation keeps everything organized and helps us to connect with our buyers more effectively. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow, and this was it for the video. And if you have any questions related to the video or the workflow, you can directly comment on this video. And for your reference, I'll just clone this workflow and share the workflow link in the description box so that you can access my workflow. I hope this video was helpful for you. Thank you for watching. Not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly, you can integrate many more applications. So now, if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this website. And if you find our videos helpful, do like and subscribe our channel. Thank you for watching.